the meantime, Namikawa, in between my two tours, had become married. Married into a very wealthy family, the Taji family. He was a wealthy man. His business was making gear assemblies, powertrains, and so forth that were incorporated by design into all manner of vehicles, trucks, sedans, pickups, you name it, everything. And he had never had anyone but a Japanese guest in his home. I was his first. Namikawa was greatly excited one day when he came to the Taji Hotel where I was staying at that time until I went back to get my family. And he was all excited to tell me that Mr. Taji had invited him to bring me to his home for dinner that Saturday afternoon. And he was so excited. He said, I must be on time and everything, you know. And of course, good friend, good close friend, he could talk to me like that. Okay, I arrived there on time and everything, and there were 4 of us sitting at the table in short order. Mr. Taji directly across from me, Namikawa over here, Kozo Taji, the son, who is going to soon take over the business, over here. 4 men around this table. We had 2 servants assigned to us. All of our choices were laid out in front of us. We could have warm sake, we could have beer, we could have Suntory whiskey, we could have any combination of whatever we wanted to drink. I had learned to be careful in my associating with the Japanese, not to allow them to get me drunk. It was something that they automatically would prefer that we get drunker than they do, whereas it was always the reverse. They're like American Indians. They are very susceptible to alcohol. They know that. And therefore, they tried to feed us alcohol. So anyway, here, I'm not thinking about this, except that I know I'm going to be cautious and not overdrink. I'm going to remain very careful. 2 servants assigned to each of us. Now, when I take a sip of beer out of my glass, unlike in our custom where they wait until the glass is empty or almost empty before they refill it, every time you take a sip, they refill it. Put a little more in it. And I noticed after a while that sometimes one person would take the glass, it would be out of sight, it would come back full. Sometimes another person would take the glass out of sight and it would come back full. It was a hot day, and I was already beginning to think, hey, is it just simply the heat of the day that's making me feel the effects of this little alcohol I've been nipping at? And I had an idea. And the next time someone grabbed my glass, I reached over and grabbed the wrist, and she was about to pour Suntory whiskey into my beer. I looked at Mr. Taji across the table from me. I shook my finger at him. I said, "Aha! Aha!" He knew exactly what I meant. You rascal, you. And he laughed. He actually laughed. He accepted it with good grace. He was probably embarrassed, but he kept a good face. Now, Namikawa and I, on my first tour, in discussing our social customs, had many discussions over the Japanese practice of not letting a guest in their home for a repast know how many courses he would be served, he or she they would be served. And the higher esteem the host felt for his guest, the more the number of courses would be. Now, if it was, in the vernacular, to be a, let's say, a 8-course guest, that's fairly high in esteem. Japanese custom, 7 is about average. Okay, the poor guy, he's supposed to guess in what degree of esteem, how many serves are there going to be before they get to the main meal. And sometimes it's very embarrassing because they'll bring out, the host will bring out, proudly, have his servant bring out a tray of some pretty goodies, you know. Well, obviously the first 1 or 2 are just to be tasted and pronounced delightful or whatever. And but then when he gets to the 5th, 6th, 7th one, is this it? Does he take a large amount and fill up on it, thinking this surely is it, and have him take it away and bring another one? And he's already full? He has obviously misguessed the esteem in which his host holds him, or wants him to think he holds him. And so I said, we don't do that. We tell people, we tell our guests, give them a hint, give them an idea of what kind of a meal we're having. And we think it's much better served for their own comfort and peace of mind, as well as we feel we're doing the right thing as hosts. Well, he agreed with me. So he had told me in advance this was to be the ultimate, a 12-course dinner. And with hand-rubbing glee, he even told me, we will have to have your participation for the 12th course, for the last course. Well, I've been working a real tight shift. Our motto, General Shepherd's motto for our work was 7 days a week from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. Sundays, holidays meant nothing. We were tired. I was tired. And sure, I'd gotten off the afternoon that day, but I'm tired. We're already starting dinner, and we're about the 8th or 9th course, and I'm yawning. It's obvious. I can hardly stay awake. And there was a little Japanese patter went on over here, and finally a suggestion was made that maybe before the 11th and 12th courses, I might take a little nap. Well, my first reaction was, well, that was almost like an insult, you know. You look sleepy, you rascal. Go to bed and take a nap. But they convinced me they meant it. And after all, I'm in their territory now, you know. And I said, we'll wake you in 20 minutes. So they took me up to a bedroom, and I lay down on the tatami and with a sandbag pillow under my neck, and boy, I'm asleep before you know it. They had promised to wake me up in 20 minutes. I woke up with the sun shining on my face the next morning. That's what woke me up, the sun shining on my face through a window. And oh my God, I didn't even know where I was. And I saw a sign over the door, have a good sleep. And then underneath that, follow the arrows. They knew I'd have to go to the Benju. And I get up and I wrap my robe around me and I follow the arrows, and Namikawa comes in, grinning. And he pretended that they had tried to wake me up, but that I was so sound asleep that they decided I needed to sleep the next day, and Mr. Taji said, I want him for my guest all day tomorrow. I spent a wonderful weekend. In their eyes, they paid me the highest honors that they could pay a guest. Old man Taji and his son put on a no play, N-O-H. It's all gestures. It's a social accomplishment to be able to understand those gestures. It's much greater accomplishment than just understanding the opera Aida or, you know, something like that. Very few, relatively few people in Japan have that knowledge, that social accomplishment. They put it on with Namikawa sitting on a pillow beside me, explaining the meaning of each gesture while I'm enjoying the show that old man Taji and his son put on. A high honor, very high honor.